Welcome to the Willow Creek online training program. Today's module is entitled Checklist for Home Preparedness. So this is pretty important. This is fundamental. These are the fundamental elements that you must have for all of these potential disasters. The purpose of this module is to discuss how to prepare your home for a disaster by reviewing the checklist for home preparedness. So we have a little checklist you can follow. If you do all these things, you'll be good to go. To discuss the grab and go kit and the home emergency kit, we're going to discuss that also. Alright, here we are. Now I must say this guy is our hero today, okay? This guy is our hero. Look at that earthquake. He survived the earthquake. I want all of us to look like that. I want to see all the families out in front and cheering away that we survived a disaster, should a disaster come our way. And he's pretty proud, and he has his grab and go kit there, and he's pretty proud of the toilet paper he managed to bring along with him too. And so this guy is awesome. How do we reduce severity in any disaster, but we're going to focus on earthquakes? Prepare to survive a disaster by following the checklist for home preparedness. There you go. The checklist for home preparedness is divided into 4 sections as follows. First, we plan, then we practice, then we prepare, and then after we get all that done, and only when we get all of those things done, then we will coordinate with the neighbors to help those people in need. But if everyone will be prepared, we won't have to spend as many resources here, and we can look more like this guy. That's what we want. They always say, know what success looks like. Well, this guy's name is Success. There you go. This is the check sheet that we'll talk about. We'll go over this whole plan. Develop an escape plan that covers every room in the house and considers the needs of children and physically challenged individuals. You must remember that when you have a disaster. I mean, imagine having an earthquake, going to your house, and it looks like this. Or this, you know. That could be an escape route. That may be one of your escape routes behind there. That's the door. Hey, that's why we always have at least 2 escape routes, because you never know what's going to happen. There it is right there. Plan 2 evacuation routes in case your primary route is impassable. So here's a guy, I don't know, it looks like he may have had an earthquake, I don't know. Or he's just a messy housekeeper. That's probably what's happening. Maybe he has to get out the window. That's the only way he can get out. But no, really, this came from an earthquake picture. So there he is. He's going through his 2nd evacuation route there. Pick 2 places to meet, near home and outside the neighborhood. So notice we always have 2 options there. That's very important. Choose an out-of-state check-in contact for everyone to call. Everyone calls the same person out of state. Sometimes out-of-state calls are more likely to make it through than local calls due to all the infrastructure damage. So remember that. This is very important. Then everyone can call in. Maybe they could even do a, tap everyone in and we can all talk together. You never know. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Identify an evacuation destination. Okay, and we mentioned that. Plan how to take care of your pets. Generally not allowed in shelters, just so you know. 8, find safe places in the home for each type of disaster. Okay, maybe there's one place better for earthquakes, another one better for fires. On fires, you just want to get out of the place, I can tell you that. Flooding, etc. So we went through all those disasters already, the 5 disasters. Think of for each one of those, there's actually more than 5, but think of each one of those and think where you should meet in those different disasters, or even in the home. Number 9, make sure that you have adequate insurance coverage. That's always a good thing. Inventory your property to help prove the value of items damaged or destroyed in a disaster. They won't replace it if you don't have proof that you owned it in the first place. So that's why you do an inventory of your property. Review your plan periodically and update it if necessary. I wouldn't say only review your plan, practice your plan. When you practice it, you'll realize, oh, I didn't think of that, and then you need to change your plan to make it more efficient and effective. Number 12, discuss the plan with all family members. Everyone needs to know about this. No one's in the dark here. Little kids, they may have to be reminded, and they may have to practice a little more often. Don't scare them, obviously, but let them practice. They'll actually have fun, has been my experience. 13, conduct family practices. There you go. Fire drills, taking shelter, following evacuation routes, etc. It's not going to do much good if we don't practice it. And they usually just take a little while. 14, make sure that family members know where fire extinguishers are and how to use them. And we'll discuss more in greater detail about a lot of these things. But this is the kind of an introductory level lecture here. Show responsible family members how and when to shut off water, gas, electricity, and main switches. We're going to cover that in greater detail in a later module. Quiz children every 6 months to be sure that they remember the plan. That's what I meant earlier. Redundancy, especially for younger kids. They need redundancy. You know, you talk about people in the military and they say they go to battle and they said, man, isn't that scary, all these bullets flying around? They say, yeah, it can be kind of scary. But he says, be honest with you, once you get in that situation, the training just takes over. That's pretty awesome. That's what we're asking you to do here. 17, post emergency numbers in contact lists. Put them in your phone there. And you may want a hard copy. It just depends. As different people, or different strokes for different folks type of thing. But I have everything on my contact list. If I lost my phone, though, I'd be in trouble, wouldn't I? Maybe I'd create a paper one and put in my go bag there. 18, locate and label utility shutoffs. Okay, we'll go over that a little more later in a later module. Install smoke alarms on every level, especially near bedrooms. We're going to hit that pretty hard, okay, in a later module. Test smoke alarms monthly, change batteries twice a year. We're going to cover that in greater detail. Check fire extinguishers according to the manufacturer's instructions. Prepare a safe room for sheltering in place. Okay, I have one front room that has some big windows, and if there's an earthquake, and then there's a fireplace with these big, thick rocks. And I'm thinking, if there's an earthquake, get out of this room. Okay, that's not a good room to be in. So understand what rooms are better and worse for a given emergency. It's very important. It's very important that you play this out in your mind before it happens. I used to skydive, and once I got this magazine every 3 months called, and in the back it had fatality reports and talked about these people dying while they're skydiving. And the purpose was you're supposed to read it and learn from it. There was this one guy, they were skydiving together, they call it relative work, and they were going down, and just before deployment someone T-boned the guy and hit him and flipped him end over end. The guy was kind of scared, so he deployed his parachute. All his friends are on top of him, they go crashing into the parachute, they all die. And so the next weekend I just said, okay, that's what, and then that tells you what you're supposed to do. It says if you get hit like that just for jump altitude, don't deploy. Look up and see if your friends are up there. If it's clear, wave your hands and deploy. But if you don't have time to check for your friends, just keep dropping till you experience, they call it ground rush, and then deploy. So they gave us all these instructions, and guess what happened the very next weekend that I went skydiving? That happened to me. I won't go into great detail, but it happened, and I got, well, I couldn't, my altimeter was getting blown under my chin. I couldn't see it, and I was trying to fix it, but I told everyone, hey, I have a problem here. Be aware. I need you to let me know when we hit jump deployment altitude. So we're falling, and my altimeter gets under my chin again. I can't see my altitude, so I don't know when I'm supposed to deploy by looking at that. And right when they said they were about to wave their hands, time to deploy, when I get hit by a guy. Okay, the same thing in the articles being repeated, and I remembered it, and I didn't felt comfortable looking around because I didn't know how much time I had, so I just dropped until I got ground rush, then I deployed. I followed the instructions, but if I would have been up there and didn't know what to do in that situation, who knows what would have happened, okay? So that's why we do these things, that's why we practice these things, and we practice them until it becomes intuition for us. That's what saves lives. All right. 23, photocopy or scan vital documents. Keep originals in a safe deposit box. Store one copy at home and give a copy to someone out of town. Okay, that's very important. Assemble a disaster supply kit. And we'll talk about what goes in those kits here in just a little bit in this module. Remember, practice our plan. Teach people how to open screen windows, especially children. They'll enjoy it, and they probably need it when they get teenagers also, just so you know. But open screen windows, they need to do that in case there's an emergency. People that put this together are people that go to these emergencies after they happen, all these disasters. And I bet they've seen some people from fires that didn't get out because they couldn't get the screen off the window or something like that. So be sure and practice that. Drop, cover, and hold onto heavy furniture. Okay? Drop to the floor, get under something, and hold on while the earthquake's taking place. That's an earthquake thing. Drop, cover, and hold. We'll go over that in greater detail later also. Escape from your home. After practicing, improve your plan, then do it again. I've worked with corporations around the world, and most people look at the potential disasters in their area. I was in Florida once, and it was a tornado, and they had a tornado warning. The alarms went off, and everyone knew exactly what to do. They went right back into this place that some structural engineer said was the best place for us to be. And I was amazed how smoothly it went, you know. But that's just from a lot of practice. And they practiced that drill before there was a tornado. And the safety guy had walked around, nodded there, look and see what everyone's doing, and teach them, hey, this didn't go so smooth, we need to do this. They changed their plan. And in Utah, we do that with earthquakes in a lot of the corporations. They practice their drill on getting out in case of an earthquake or a fire. They're always practicing and improving it. And so I think that's a very important thing to keep in mind. All right, and finally, the last step is coordinate with neighbors. Plan how neighbors can work together after a disaster. But first, the most important thing, take care of yourself. After you've got yourself taken care of, then we'll go help all the neighbors, okay? That's the way it's supposed to go. If everyone is good at taking care of themselves, and when we all get together, there won't be as much work to do, and not as many people injured, etc. And you can see the neighbors helping each other there. That's kind of inspiring, isn't it? Look at these people. Their place got destroyed. But they have each other still. There's a family there, it looks like, and the whole community, you know, is working together. That's what we like to see. Look over here, everyone helping out. There's someone giving someone a hug. Sometimes you may need some of those. There we kind of stick together. Anyway, these are kind of inspiring pictures in my mind, and that's what I want to see our neighborhood look like after a disaster. That's wonderful, inspiring. Now, the grab and go kit. Notice this guy has the grab and go kit attached to his side. Yes, he has the toilet paper also. He's very proud of that. But let's go through the grab and go kit. What does he have in there? Well, your family disaster plan should be in there, a hard copy, so you can pull it out and see all the phone numbers, where you're supposed to meet, all that. That doesn't take up much space, does it? Personal information, such as passport, social security card, and etc. If you have a disaster like this, you may want to go to the bank and get some money out. You're not going to get it without identification. Okay? And so this is very important. You have to prove that you are who you say you are. And financial information, you need that too. So put that in your grab and go bag also. And maybe you take a little computer with you and you have it all electronically. I don't know. That's up to you. You may have hard copies also. Insurance policies. That's important. When you have a disaster, you know, you want to get help quickly on this. You want to get things going as quickly as possible. Well, the way to get it quickly as possible is have all your information. Key for a safety deposit box, I'd throw that in there if you have one. Backup for your computer system. If I have my computer and I have everything I need. I can handle the situation pretty good. I'm going to look pretty good. So copies of computer passwords, medicine, prescriptions, water treatment pills. If you have water treatment pills, you can drink swamp water. I'm not saying you'd enjoy it. I'm just saying it may keep you alive. Snacks. That's a good thing to have. First aid kit, pocket knife, toilet paper, there you go. Feminine supplies, personal hygiene items, matches, waterproof matches, of course, cell phone chargers, cash, paper and pencil, flashlight, radio, and etc. And who's the people that make all this list up? They're the people that come in after these disasters. This isn't just coming through brainstorming. This is coming out and seeing how people survive, seeing how the champs come out to be champs. That's what we're doing here. Okay, so that's the grab and go kit. So, you know, it doesn't have to be very big. He probably had this near in the garage or near the front door, and when this hit, he just grabbed it and took off running. Yeah, this guy's amazing. Home and family emergency kit. Okay, and so this could be in your house. You don't necessarily carry this off. However, a lot of these things in the emergency kit, you meet with the things you have here. You're going to find out the same things that are in your grab and go kit are also a part of your home and family emergency kit. What should you have? Water, at least a 3-day supply. What's a 3-day supply? 1 gallon per person per day if you just want drinking water. If you want to wash up a little bit and things like that, you should have 2 gallons per person per day. There you go. Food, you should have a 3-day supply of non-perishable food. Yeah, that's pretty good. And we're going to go into greater detail on exactly what that could look like. Mess kit, paper plates, cups, paper towels, and plastic utensils. There you go. Radio, a battery with a hand crank operated. I bought one of those the other day. They're not very expensive. The flashlight. And the radio I got, you can hand crank it, and it also has something to plug your cell phone in. You know, now you may want to get in shape also, I guess, if you have to hand crank that thing all the time. Okay, and a flashlight, batteries, extra batteries, first aid kits, whistles with a next cord used to signal for help. You may think that's funny, but let's go back here. That looks pretty bad. You get trapped in there, you have a whistle, you're going to think that whistle is worth all the money you've ever earned in your whole life. So there you go. Duct tape. Yeah, if you have duct tape, you could build a house if you have duct tape. Pocket knife, garbage bags, moist towelettes, toilet paper. Continuing on here, matches, waterproof. Remember that was in your go kit. Silver emergency camping blankets, sleeping bags, manual can opener, rope, tarp, local maps, cell phone chargers. There you go, inverter or solar charger. Prescription medications, instant formula and diapers, cash, household chlorine bleach for sanitation, feminine supplies and personal hygiene items, pencil and paper and pencil, books, games, puzzles, and other kids' activities. Hey, if you can keep the kids happy, your life's going to be a lot better, isn't it? So there you go. Important family documents, fire extinguisher, there you go. Potty bucket. I've heard this thing called a lot of things in my life, but potty bucket wasn't the first one. Sounds like something my mother would call it. Here we go. Potty bucket. 1 5-gallon bucket. 1 plastic toilet seat with lid that fits securely. You can imagine you would definitely want it to fit securely to the bucket. Kitty litter, trash compactor bags, disposal gloves, disinfectant wipes, toilet paper, there it is again. 1-ply, shovel, and dental mask. There you go. Those are all important. Well, congratulations, you almost completed this module. However, remember, you need to finish that module exam. Congratulations, you have completed this module. I hope you have learned something that will help you in that next disaster. Remember to always think ahead. Be prepared, be safe, and you've got it, be happy. Have a good day. Bye.